Alright guys, I finally got in my replacement light bar last night, and I'm not very impressed. This one is one I took apart. It's same brand, everything. It's an X-Bright 35.5-inch traffic advisor. This one is a 31.5. The only difference is this one has 6 heads and they have 6 bulbs. This one has 7 heads but only 4 bulbs. But I'll show you side by side that the brightness is completely different and the color is completely different. The lenses are about the same, pretty much the same. These have a little bit different finish on them, but so here's the new one. It still looks pretty bright in the video, but it's absolutely nothing compared or even the same color as the old one. The old one is extremely bright, and if you kind of look, I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera, that this one is like a very weird orangey color. This one is actually yellow. But I'm swapping out some of the diodes in here anyways, so, and this one's pretty much a parts bar now. I thought I could kind of cheat the system because you can't get, I think, any setup with this controller now, with the straight traffic advisor functions and then your normal functions, which I really liked about this light bar is this controller. Because you have your on off, your pattern select, and then your traffic advisor stuff. So you could turn it on and have, you just click this and have whatever pattern you want, and then you just click like center out. And there's there's 2 different versions of all the traffic advisors. You can do right to left, or left to right, I mean. You click it again, there's that pattern. There's just 2 patterns as far as that goes. But then you just turn it off, turn it back on, you're back to the warning pattern again. So I thought I could kind of cheat this system, and they're the same exact plug. I thought it ran off of the board in here to make them do a traffic advisor function as far as these buttons. So I tried swapping the controllers, but doesn't matter. I turn power on to this one, doesn't matter what button I hit down here or up here, and it just, all it does is change it the exact same as me hitting this momentary switch. Which leads me to another thing of why on earth they had to make this thing so big. You have 2 switches. Why do you need this thing like 2.5 inches by 1 inch for 2 switches? They could easily cut this thing in half. I don't understand that whatsoever. But we'll see. I'm gonna end up taking this one apart anyways whenever I get my green diodes. On the green ones I'm gonna go this module, this one, and this one. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is pulling one of these modules apart, taking the diodes out and putting them in one of these, and see if it's the board that's making it dim or if it's the actual diodes. And then kind of depending on that, I might end up just ordering 3-watt diodes, amber ones for these, because I'm going to have 3-watt green ones. So we'll see on how that goes. I did get some strobes and more, I think they're called photons. Just strobes and more LED, yeah, photon. Got them in amber. They're usually $50 a piece, and I found someone on eBay that was selling them for $20 a piece, and I offered him $16 a piece for 6 of them. So I got 6 of these for $96. Normally it'd be, $100 for 2 of them. I'm getting 6 for under $100. So that's a really good deal. those will be here I think within a week, and they're just surface mount, so I'll put those on the Santa Fe. I haven't seen them in person, so I don't know. It looks on their design that it's more of a like a linear lens where it won't go through tint or anything very well. It's more of a widespread instead of a long distance. But then they don't have any, they usually have pretty good videos on all their lights. They have nothing on this one, even though this one is their best seller. So you think they'd have a little more info on it, but they don't. They also offer a dual color model for the same price, which I don't understand. I think this one might be just longer. I think that's why. I can tell you real quick. I think, yeah, length is, wow, they went all the way down, like almost 3.5 inches. If you go down to this one, okay, it's the exact same length. I don't know why, for the price, why you wouldn't just get a dual color. It's probably because there's like 12 LEDs. There's probably 12 LEDs combined. You can either have 6 one color and 6 the other color, or all 12 the same color. I don't know if there's 12 or anything, it's just an example. But yeah, so that's kind of where that's going. I am working on getting this Trx4 going again. I did get this thing brand new, but it's been sitting for ever since the whole COVID thing. I drove it probably 3 weeks during the shutdown when I had to stay at home, and drove it all the time. The problem is I drive it in the creek, and then I didn't like take it apart and clean it, and I had the front diff lock servo go out, which wasn't too big a deal. I could still drive it around, and I still had the rear diff I could lock. So I was like, I'll just get a new micro servo whenever. But then I went to drive it not too long ago, and the motor is shot. And I was trying to figure out what was wrong with it and everything. And then after, you can't even see it anymore. It must have fell somewhere else in the engine. One of the brushes on this actually rusted and broke off. The brush was like sticking through one of these holes. Actually, it looks like it fell out. Yep, it's right here. So that's one of the brushes. Actually, it looks like part of the brush. So it must have came loose, and then when it was spinning, it broke it off. But yeah, so that motor does not work. So I need to run to Hobbytown probably sometime, maybe this weekend, and get a new motor for this thing so I can get this going again. And I think I have another micro server I can stick in this thing. If not, I think I might take this one out and see if I can fix it. I don't know what's wrong with it. It was jumping around, so it might have water damage, even though it's supposed to be waterproof. But we'll see how that goes. But I kind of want to do some videos on this. Let me know in the comments or on my Instagram page on what you'd like to see. This is in really rough condition. Carson got a hold of it, and as you can see, kind of like broke this. It had 2 windshield wipers on it, but he broke those off. I'm not too worried about it. I use this thing more of like a basher. I mean, it's a rock crawling RC car. I use it as a rock crawling RC car. I don't try to keep it looking pretty or anything. As you can tell by the bumpers and the top of it, I just see what it can do. So everything is stock on this. I haven't changed a single thing. Stock tires, all that. So let me know down below if you guys want to see some videos on this, or what your thoughts are, or if you know any decent upgrades that, you know, aren't crazy expensive. They have all those brass mods you can do. I'm not into all that. They made it like this, and that's pretty much how I run it. But I am possibly looking at new tires for this, because they're decent, but I mean, I ran them in water a couple times without tape over the little breathing hole, so the foam is shot in these. So it's like I used to be able to pick it up and just squeeze in, water would come pouring out, which isn't really good. So I might look into bead locks for this. I don't know. I'm still trying to keep it on a budget, but we'll see. That's pretty much it for right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.